in this video, I'm going to walk through the best offers that you can run right now for cold outreach in general, but more specifically for cold Twitter DMs. So I put together this Gamma document, and this should pretty much cover everything that you need to know. Okay. So first of all, who am I and why you should listen to me? I'm Alex, the co-founder of Drippy AI, 7-figure SaaS company. And just in the last couple months, we've sent 1.4 million DMs, 45,000 total replies, meaning an average of 3.1% reply rate, which led to almost 900 sales calls and almost 1,300 new subscribers. And this is paying subscribers, right? And you can just check out some of our results here, just for our Twitter outreach with Drippy, 5.2, 5.4. These are reply rates, right? And an average of like a 50% positive replies. So 5.2, 5.4, 4.9, 9.6 with a 50% positive reply, 12.7, 61, 13, 61, 50. We got 7.3, 7, 6.8, 5.0, 9.7. You get the point. And then a bunch of case studies, 161 sales calls, 128K cash collected in 30 days, 35K in 60 days, 40% reply rate, all that stuff. So you know, just a bunch of really good results. All right, so now that you know that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Twitter DMs, essentially we're just gonna go over the difference between offers and core offers. And we have a bunch of users, and so we have a really good pulse on what's working really well right now. And so I'm gonna walk through that essentially. And there is a link down below in the description to this Gamma document, so you can go through it at your pace. And then there are a couple swipe files in here as well if you want to check those out. So again, link down below in the description to get access to this Gamma document. So first of all, we need to differentiate between offers and core offers. So you have a core offer, but your business is filled with other offers, okay? And the best cold DM campaigns I've ever seen typically aren't core offer campaigns, okay? And I'll explain what that means. So typically what I see work best, or at least right now what's working the best, and I'll walk into kind of what everything is, but it is valuable lead magnets. That's number one. That's what we've seen work best. Setup offers are working really, really well right now. And then a combination of the above, right? Again, just to kind of recap, offers and core offers. Your business is filled with different offers. So you have multiple core offers that can get someone maybe further down the line to actually buy into your core offer. And so these are the offers that we've seen work best just throughout a bunch of different campaigns, through a bunch of different users in pretty much every single niche, right? And again, so we have those, and then high ticket monthly recurring offers. This is a little bit different. This will work, but it works really well, not so much for cold traffic, but more so for warm outreach, or if you have a ton of social proof. And again, we're gonna walk through each and every single one of these. Okay, so first of all, what we see working the absolute best by far are value-based lead magnets. Okay, so something that people find really, really valuable, and I'll walk through this right now. So lead magnets are offers. They're just not your core offers. Okay, so again, like I said, offers and core offers, those are two different things. And I feel like lead magnets aren't talked about enough nowadays, but every big person in literally every single space is using some kind of lead magnet strategy. And I can almost guarantee that you've opted into at least a couple of lead magnets before. Okay. And so this is a quick quote by Alex Ramosi. If you're not getting enough leads, it's usually that your lead magnets aren't good enough or attractive enough for your ideal audience. Okay. And so what are lead magnets? They're a complete solution to a narrow problem, again, by Alex Ramosi. And they should reveal the next set of problems that should be solved by your core offer. So just to kind of clarify this, a lead magnet is a complete solution to a narrow problem, and that should in and of itself reveal the next set of problems that your core offer should solve. Okay. And so it makes it easy for someone that liked your initial offer, your lead magnet, to then go ahead and opt into maybe another offer or your core offer in and of itself. Right. So what lead magnets are working the best right now? So at Drippy, we've ran a couple, right? And I can walk you through kind of what we've seen work best. So we've ran free leads, which is what we're running right now. We've run free scripts as well. We're not running this one anymore, and I'll talk about why. We also do free trials. So right now, if you go to Drippy.ai, there is a 750 message or 7-day free trial. And I'll walk you through kind of why this works so well. I think I have it down here somewhere. Anyway, so why are we using the free lead magnet? Why is that a better lead magnet than free scripts? Okay, so essentially right now, if you go to drippyleads.com, you're gonna see our lead magnet. And what's really, really nice about that lead magnet is that it took a lot of effort up front from our devs to build that, but But now we can essentially just have a VA sending super highly targeted lead lists to anyone that says yes to our messages, okay? And you saw the type of reply rates that we're getting, all right? And so what lead magnets work best for cold DMs right now? The best that we've seen, right, is our example, is our own case study, which is free leads. So essentially, if you say yes, and I'm going to show you the exact messages as well. So if you say yes to one of our messages, then you're going to get sent a list of 1,000 leads in your ICP specifically. And so that's really, really nice, because if we remember what lead magnets are, they're a complete solution to a narrow problem. So whenever someone hops onto Drippy, I'll walk through kind of how to come up with lead magnet ideas. But whenever someone logs onto Drippy after connecting their Twitter account, the next thing they need to do is find leads, okay? And so we're solving that problem for them. And then what do they need to do afterwards? So after you have leads, someone, like, you're gonna wanna reach out to them, obviously. And like, what's the easiest way to do that is to automate. And obviously you're gonna want each and every single one of your messages to be personalized. And so that is what you can do with Drippy, right? And so on top of that, not only do we provide free leads, but then people also get a free trial. So it's like, hey, here's your free leads, and you can just try our automation tool out for completely free, right? And so this is why this works so well, and why our free trial conversion rates are at around 50% right now, which is absolutely insane, right? However, free scripts, this took way, way longer, because we actually had like our script writer in-house writing out all these scripts. And so it just wasn't as easy. It took a lot more time. And then if you don't reply to prospects quickly, they'll end up either ghosting you, or it'll just, like, the sales cycle just get so long that it's not even worth it. And to be completely honest, the conversion rates from people that got the free leads and the free scripts, like, the difference wasn't even measurable. Like, it was pretty much the same thing, and there was like so much of a bigger lift for free scripts that we decided to kill that one off. And so now we're just running free leads. And I've seen free leads as a freebie be used a ton. Like, a lot of cold email people will do this. What you really want to do, like, if you're thinking about running a similar freebie, is that you want to make it very particular to your ICP, right? So to whoever you're reaching out to, like, you don't, I've seen a bunch of people do like, hey, I have this like Google Drive with 4 million leads. But like, everyone knows that those leads are super ran through, right? Like, everyone's gone through those leads, like, they're pretty much like burned leads. And so you want to make sure, but if you say like, hey, I have 1,000 leads, I have a list of 1,000 doctors, lawyers, and accountants, and you know that that person, like, that's their target audience, then it's just a whole different situation, right? So some other examples that we've seen. So for example, Alex Ramosi, which I'm sure you know, he has a bunch of free courses. If you go to acquisition.com, he has books. And I would even argue that his YouTube videos and all of his content essentially are just more lead magnets, right? Because his main offer, his core, like, those are all offers. He has like you fly out to Vegas. He has a bunch of different offers, but his core offer is essentially like investing in your company, right? All those are offers that he's making. Not all those are lead magnets. So these are kind of his freebies that get people within his funnel, and then he has some other offers, and then his core offer further down the road as well. Now, Daniel Fazio, shout out to my boy Daniel, love that guy. So for example, if we just look at the latest YouTube video, we go down here, and so this is 1,000% a lead magnet, right? So this video talks about his $10 million VSL script. If you go in here, you'll see that if you click to download, it's gonna ask for your information, and then you're gonna get the freebie, right? So again, everyone is using lead magnets. Dan Martell, he has a book, he has a newsletter, he has a bunch of different options if you go to his earlier videos, right? And then Ryan Dice, another example of how people are using freebies. So if you go to this video right here, which is the CEO dashboard or CEO scorecard, again, you can see the same thing that Daniel Fazio is doing, which is essentially a funnel where you can download your copy here, and then it's going to ask for information, and then you're going to get added to their email sequence. And they just know that if they add enough people to their email sequence, they will keep nurturing those guys, and then further on the road, and then later down the line, you're going to end up converting to some of their offers. Maybe not their core offers, but you will end up paying them. All right. And so these are people that you know you'll receive value from. And so essentially the strategy behind this is that these people know that you'll receive value from these lead magnets, and it makes it way more likely that you'll convert later down the road, again, to either one of their offers or maybe their core offering as well. So now, how do you come up with these ideas? Like, what is a good lead magnet? And so the first thing, just to kind of get your mind rolling, either I really like Claude, but you can also do this with ChatGPT. Just literally just say like, hey, I run this type of company that helps ICP achieve XYZ through mechanism. What are some lead magnet ideas that my ICP would find valuable based off of their most common pain points, right? So you can literally just copy and paste this. For example, for us, it would be, I run a B2B SaaS company that helps B2B companies book calls through automated, highly personalized Twitter DMs. What are some lead magnet ideas that my ICP would find valuable based off of their most common pain points, right? So that's kind of how you can go about that. And two things you want to really think about, or at least that I do whenever I'm coming up with lead magnet ideas. Number one, the pain points, and then number two, their customer journey. Okay, why? And these go really hand in hand. Like, again, for example, on our freebies, like, why does a list of 1,000 leads work super well? Well, because if we just think about the customer journey, what's the first thing someone does when they log into Drippy? They add their Twitter account. And then what's the second thing they need to do? Well, they need to figure out how to start an automation. But before that, right, before you can even start an automation, you need leads. And so again, it is a complete solution to a narrow problem. And so we give them the leads, and then they need to set up an automation. So we give them another free trial for that, and then you just need to reply to messages, right? And so it's, all right, here's a bunch of videos that you can use to set up your automation. It's super, super easy to do. We even do onboarding calls as well. After that, all they need to do is just reply to messages. So we make it super easy for them. Just 3 things that they need to do. We give them the first one, we help them out with the second one, and then there's a bunch of content here on our YouTube that will walk them through how to reply to messages. And so you can see that a lead list is a very natural thing to give away, all right? And so that's why it works so well. Because again, that is one of the pain points. Like, a lot of people will ask us, like, hey, how do I scrape leads? How do I make sure that my leads are qualified, et cetera, et cetera? So it's like, hey, don't even worry about it. Like, we got you. First 1,000 leads are on us. Here you go. And then here's a bunch of videos for how to set up the automation. So again, we give them the solution to the first problem, and then upon having that solution, we reveal some more problems, which is now, okay, how are you going to reach out to these guys? Well, hey, you want to automate it? Here you go. Just use Drippy. Here's a free trial. And so that's why that works so well. All right, another example. So for all of our Drippy subscribers, we have weekly coaching sessions, right? So community coaching sessions. And we have this guy, really great guy, hop on, and he runs essentially like a sales coaching offer. And we were going back and forth in terms of like what he should run. And I gave him this idea, and I think it's really, really good because it's something that I would love to get a message like this, okay? And he was starting like B2B SaaS companies, right? So like we're their ICP. So I told him that if you're like sales coaching, pain point that B2B SaaS company people have is reviewing sales calls, right? So if you have a sales team, if you have a sales manager, then that's their pain point. If you manage the sales team, then this is your pain point. And if it's not your pain point, then you're really not like reviewing sales calls. But everyone knows you should be reviewing sales calls because that's like the only way to get better, right? And so that in and of itself, right? So reviewing sales calls and giving feedback is a huge pain point that anyone that needs to review sales calls has. And so I told him like, hey, dude, why don't you just shoot out a message asking founders or CEOs or whoever to review a sales call for completely free and to give them actionable feedback so that they can see results instantly, right? And so essentially it's just kind of thinking about your offer and then what pain points your ICP has that will make it easy for them to say yes. Like if I got this message, I would say yes in a heartbeat. And I would just need to go to Fireflies, take a recording from our closer, and then just throw it over, right? And then that's it. That's all I need to do. It's super, super easy, and I'm getting a ton of value. And then afterwards, I'm like, okay, well, this guy knows his stuff. Let me hire him so he can kind of either manage my sales team or so that he can give us some coaching or whatever, right? So that's kind of how I think about freebies. Again, you want to either think about pain points that your ICP has or your customer journey and how those two play well together. So what do these DMs like actually look like, right? Because we kind of have talked about these like up in the air, but what do these actually look like, or what would we send? So this is like literally what we're using right now, and this is like the results that you saw at the beginning. This is the message. This is the main message. So we're saying, hey, I put together a list of 1,000, and then your ICP who might be interested in, and then again, we're using Drippy's AI to figure out what service our prospect provides, and then we're saying, cool, if I send it over at no cost, totally free, on the house, no strings attached. So make it super, super easy for people to say yes. And that's why we get like such high reply rates with such high positive reply rates as well. All right, so here's the other offer. I just put this together quickly. So it's essentially the same thing. I recently helped similar business take their close rate from X% to X% in time frame by auditing their sales team's calls. Was wondering if you'd be interested in having me audit one of your guys' calls completely for free. I'll shoot over a full Loom video audit and with clear actionable steps for you guys to see quick results. Like if I got this message, I would be all over this. Why? Because I'm a B2B SaaS founder and I have this pain point. Like I take at least an hour a day to review sales calls. And so this would just be huge. Why? Because again, it's a huge pain point that I have. It's not like I love just reviewing sales calls. And I think this is going to absolutely rip for him. And so again, you just want to think about what pain points do people have, and then what are they doing every day that you can help them with, and then just also think about the customer journey if your offering is more along the lines of what we offer at Drippy. All right, so key things to keep in mind here. Always try to find ways to add AI personalization. Again, Drippy makes this very simple. If you have questions, you can just kind of see how we do it here. And there's a bunch of videos on this YouTube channel kind of walking through that. And then make it obvious that it's free and make it very valuable. Okay, so those are kind of the three things. Personalization, make it obvious that it's free if it is, and then make it very valuable. And Twitter isn't like email where if you use the word free, your messages will automatically go to spam. You can use the word free, so I highly recommend you use the word free if what you're offering is free. Here's a script swipe file, so you can get access to this whole gamma document down below. This is just some of our best performing scripts, and all the way at the bottom, you can see another couple as well. These have kind of the explanation, and so if you want access to this, just opt in down below in the description, and you'll get access to the whole gamma and that swipe file as well. All right, so you might be thinking, all right, Alex, this is super cool, dude. But how do I actually make money from this? Like, if I'm just offering free shit, how do I actually make money from this? So you need to and yes, that's a very valid question, but you need to make sure that your lead magnets have clear calls to action. Okay, if they don't have calls to action, if you're just giving shit out for free, then you're not going to get paid, or at least it's going to take longer. So for example, here with our list, whenever we send someone a list, it has very, very clear calls to action that invite people to sign up to Drippy directly. Okay, so we send them a list. Essentially, we send people this landing page right here with their own set of leads, with their information. And then it's very easy, right? It's got freaking calls to action everywhere. It's like, hey, see how we generate thousands of leads. And then my boy Jay in here. And then copy a link to sign up, and then you can use this. You can download the leads. You can automate DMs to leads. A bunch of different stuff that you can do to make it. And so we make it super easy for whoever it is that we're talking to take action on using the leads. All right. And so all that is something that you really, really need to do, because if you're just doing stuff for free, but there's no calls to action, then people won't know what to do. You need to make sure, especially with cold traffic, you tell people exactly what you want to do. Another thing, you can build a funnel where they opt in. So this is the example I show you with Daniel Fazio and Ryan Dice. And then also after you send over a freebie or a lead magnet, and because again, this is happening in the DMs, you always want to make sure you keep the conversation going by asking qualifying questions. And I see people do this all the time where they just send it over. It's like, hey, let me know if you found this valuable, right? It doesn't keep the conversation going. But if you ask something I don't know, something that digs into one other pain point, for example, for the sales call, how often do you typically review sales calls? Or how long would you say, or how much time per week would you say you spend reviewing sales calls, right? So just something that's easy for them to kind of give you the answer. You start digging into those pain points, and it's just easy for them to reply. Okay. And then another thing I get a lot when I talk about lead magnets, and when anyone talks about lead magnets, is hey, won't this just attract tire kickers? And again, super, super valid question. The answer is no. No, unless you don't have good lead magnets. So you got to remember that whale bait will attract whales, but if you do fish bait, then you'll attract fish. And even if you're using whale bait, some small fish will slip through the cracks. And so what you have to do there to make sure that you don't waste time, effort, or money on people that aren't qualified is you add friction to your funnel. So you either add friction directly in the DM conversation, you add friction further down in your marketing funnel. For example, whenever someone's about to book a call with you, asking qualifying questions, and if they don't qualify, you either cancel the call or they don't even get access to your calendar, or just directly in your sales process. If further on, if call gets to your closer and the closer sees that they're not qualified just based off of, I don't know, maybe their website, maybe they did a little bit of research and they're not qualified, just cancel the call. Or maybe if you figure out that they're not qualified within the first 10 minutes of the call, you don't need to stay on for like the whole 30, 45 minutes or however long your sales calls are. You can just kind of end it there, right? If it's just going to be a waste of time. So again, yes, this will attract some tire kickers. If your lead magnets are good enough, they, like most people, will be qualified. However, the easiest way to go about this is just to add friction, okay? Just add friction further down in the funnel. Yes, the numbers won't be as good, but those are just vanity metrics, because that doesn't matter. Like if you have more unqualified people going through your funnel, you want qualified people to go through it that actually will pay you. So don't worry about vanity metrics. All right, so the second best type of offer that's working right now are setup or one-time payment offers. And this is exclusively for cold Twitter DMs based off of our data. And so people are sick and tired of expensive monthly retainers. If you have, like, newsflash, people are sick and tired of expensive monthly retainers. If you haven't noticed, people want to test you out first and not have to pay an expensive monthly retainer and be locked in for like 3, 6, 12 months, or however long your agency or your retainer contracts are. And what's nice is that this offer will actually get more people into your core offer. Like you can do a one-time setup fee, and then once people like it, they can go into your core offer, okay? An example of this would be our Drippy done for you setup offer. So we'll give you 10 plus verified accounts, just depending on how many you want. We will give you optimize. So we will optimize the accounts. We will warm up the accounts. We will build out your DM strategy. We will write scripts for you. We will write your follow-up sequences. We will give you the leads for your campaigns. We will load everything else, meaning scripts, meaning leads, all that stuff. And all you simply have to do is hit the start button on the campaign. And then we'll assign you a personal cold DM expert to help you with any issues. And you get weekly community coaching calls with me directly. All right. All that for just a one-time fee of $1,500. And then all you need to do is pay for the Drippy subscription, right? And if you want this offer, there is a link down below in the description and further on in this Gamma document for you to book a call. But anyways, that's besides the point. And so this is just a way better intro offer than an expensive monthly recurring offer right off the bat. This can get people to then pay us more per month for us to completely manage everything for them. But with this, like, they don't really need to pay any agency anything, because we're just doing everything for them. And then we're teaching them how to keep the system alive so that they can actually just like not pay expensive agency retainers ever. So what are some more examples of these one-time setup offers? So for example, if you do email marketing, not cold email, but email marketing, for example, this applies for like SaaS companies. It essentially applies for anyone that runs a lot of volume. So like SaaS companies, e-com brands, a bunch of different business models. A really good offer that I've seen work is we'll set up your flows for you for a one-time fee, right? So all your email flows. Content agency can be something like, hey, we'll give you 20 scripts for a one-time fee, or a PR agency like, hey, we'll give you one article or maybe a couple articles for a one-time fee. And I think part of the reason that this is working so well right now is that everyone is still pitching monthly retainer stuff. And so it's just kind of a breath of fresh air. Plus it's easier for people to say yes, you gain their trust. And then further down the line, you can actually get into the recurring stuff. And so again, what do these DMs look like? So here's an example. I think this is for this is for email marketing. So, hey, we just helped company, right? And you want it to be a similar company to whoever you're reaching out to. Implement 8 different email flows, including, I don't know, like abandoned cart, like whatever email flows are, resulting in 15% decrease in churn or like whatever, right? In just 30 days or whatever time frame. Would this be something interesting for a company name? We don't charge monthly retainers, just a one-time fee. Like this right here is the money maker. We don't charge monthly retainers, just a one-time fee, right? People will love that. And people are loving this. Like just saying this, it's just kind of, again, a breath of fresh air, and it's way easier to say yes to it. It's like, oh shit, finally someone that doesn't want to rinse me, right? So it's like, hey, we will just set up your flows, and like you don't have to keep paying us. It's just a one-time fee, and then you're good to go. All right, so we've gone through 2 of the best offers, right? So the best one in my opinion are really valuable lead magnets that you know how to monetize on the back end. So again, how do I actually make money from this? This right here, super important. Number 2, setup offers. I really like this one as well. With like this type of wording, like, hey, we don't charge monthly retainers, just a one-time fee. Beautiful wording right here. And that's working super well. And then 0 risk core offers. Okay, so this is similar to the above, but these can be recurring offers because you're making it risk-free to begin with. All right, essentially you're taking on all the risk by making it pay on results, or by adding a realistic but strong guarantee. And I say this realistic but strong because I think right now, if you open up your Twitter DMs, you'll see a bunch of people with the typical like, or you don't pay type type of guarantee, it doesn't hit as much anymore. Also the like, or will work for free. No one really likes that guarantee anymore. And obviously like at the beginning when $100 million offers came out, like those worked really, really well, but now everyone's seen that. So you always have to kind of be ahead of what everyone else is doing. So that's why I'm saying realistic but strong guarantees. Okay. And then just having the words pay on results works really, really well. So I'll walk you through a couple examples. What do these DMs look like? So hey, hello, hi, first name. And this was our best case study for a very long time. It recently changed, but we now have a better one, but this was our best case study for a while. So hey, we've got media requests and think you'd be a great fit because, and then we're adding a compliment in here again using AI. Would you be interested? You'd only pay on results. I think the magic comes in here. You'd only pay on results, and then also with the custom compliment. And the fact that there's not a lot of PR agencies pitching this right now. I think if you ran something like this now, this would work really well. And again, this is our case studies ever. Here's another one that we actually ran for a very, very long time using Drippy, and this works really, really well. Essentially, this is a lead gen offer, but it's very different than every other lead gen offer that you're seeing right now. Everyone is pitching like, hey, I'll book you an extra 15 qualified meetings, or you don't pay, right? Like that's what everyone is saying, but this wording is very, very nice and it's working really well. So hey, hello, hi, first name. If I could put you on more sales calls with companies like, and then you literally insert case studies from their website, right? And Drippy can do this on a pay on results basis. Would that be interesting, right? Or I think we also said, would that be worth exploring? We recently helped similar company achieve end result in time frame through whatever the method is, right? But again, the magic here is on a pay on results basis. Why? Because no one is doing this. You can just have it be a one-time setup fee as well, to where you're saying it's pay on results, but there is a setup fee, right? So I don't know, you charge 1,500, 3K like for the setup, and then you charge however much either per call or per meeting ready lead or whatever that is. But just having the word on a pay on results basis, like that will just increase reply rates exponentially. And these are really good if you haven't really figured out a one-time offer that works well for your business, or you don't want to go the lead magnet route. Just be careful that you only actually work with people that you want to work with and are qualified, because you don't want to get burned. And this happens a lot, especially with lead gen offers, where you can provide the best service in the world, book people a ton of meetings, but if they don't close, even if they're super qualified, if they don't close, then they're not getting an ROI. And if your guarantee is contingent on them closing, then it just kind of gets a little bit tricky, because you can do everything in the world to get them on calls, but if they don't know how to close, if your prospect isn't good at closing, then you're pretty much screwed. And again, this kind of goes for every offer, but always make sure your clients sign an agreement before you engage with them. All right, so if we go back in here, these don't work too well anymore, but I know of two very specific cases where they do work well. So I'm going to walk you through those now. So core high ticket recurring offer. So this is your typical agency retainer type of deal, right? So two ways that people see success with these through cold tour DMs right now. So number one, reaching out to their followers. Number two, having a ton of social proof. So let me walk through this. So I'm sure that if you got a message from Alex Ramosi saying that he wants to help you scale a business on a retainer type of offer, you say yes, just because you know for a fact that it will work, right? But so if Alex Ramosi came to you, he's like, dude, I need to lock you into a 24-month contract. You do it just because it's Alex Ramosi. But if someone like little Billy over here came along and was like, hey, yeah, dude, we only do 6-month contracts. It's like, well, no, it's clearly not going to work unless you're reaching out to your followers and or you just have a ton of social proof. And so odds are you're not Alex Ramosi, but maybe you do have a decent sized following and a bunch of case studies. The only problem is that if you want to make real money, like big bucks, you have to reach out to cold people. You have to create TAM. Just because the people that know, like, and trust you just it's not a big enough audience. Even if you have millions and millions of followers to make big money, you always have to go after a cold audience at some point in time. All right, so something I also wanted to add that applies to pretty much everything that we talked about today are call to actions, okay? And so call to actions can be game changers as well. My favorite one out of the bunch, would this be interesting to you? Would this be worth exploring? I think those are kind of the classics and I really like them. But my favorite one right now, and I didn't coin this, but I don't know who did, so I can't give anyone credit, but it wasn't me. However, this is what I've seen work the absolute best. And again, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that there's no one really doing this. Everyone is just pitching calls right off the bat. And I think for all of these, right? Essentially, the psychology behind a lead magnet is that you're providing value without them having to pay you anything. And so if they get value from your free stuff, like they're going to be way more inclined to say yes to your paid stuff, right? And so that's kind of the idea here, but no one's doing this. Like no one's actually providing value before asking for payment. Same thing with the setup offer. Like everyone is asking like everyone wants recurring revenue. So if you hit them with something like one-time payment type of offer first, they're way more likely to then move on to something else if they found this valuable. Same thing with zero risk score offers. The reason, like these are really good offers, obviously, but the main reason these work well is that no one else is doing them. And this will change. Like maybe last year, 12 months ago, pretty much everything was working, right? And so you just kind of have to see how like the market, like what the market's feeling. Like people used to be super down for like monthly recurring stuff. Now it's more of like, all right, let's do a setup fee and then get into monthly recurring stuff if that's the case. Or just like, hey, we'll just do this one-time thing and then you just pay the software. I think that's why this is working so well now too. Again, no need for a call. I can send over a quick Loom video if interested. You always want to be doing stuff to differentiate yourself, especially in DMs. All right, and so that's pretty much it. If you want us to set this up for you for a one-time fee, so essentially if you want us to do like this whole thing, set you up with a bunch of accounts, there is going to be a link down below the description and a link here for you to schedule a call. And then also, if you want to check out Drippy, there is going to be a link down below the description. And that is actually the cheapest way that you can get on a coaching call with me. Because again, like I said earlier, we run weekly community coaching calls. Like I run these, and essentially all of our users can hop on and ask me directly for help with anything they might need. So if you want a really, really cheap, the cheapest coaching call you'll ever get, sign up to Drippy, and then you'll get a link to join those calls there. And yes, if you haven't noticed, this whole thing is a lead magnet. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Love you, appreciate you. Speak soon. Peace.